Oh my god.
All right,
Welcome
guys.
back to the Chatting Average. I'm John. That's John. That's Adam. I was half expecting John's cat, Socks, to crash the shop, but I imagine John is staring at him on the windowsill just off camera.
He's got his.
We're
little thing up
back.
there.
It has been 3
Did you
weeks.
miss us?
He's like, sorry.
He's still talking about his cat.
He's still talking about his cat.
He's quite cute. It's been 3
John
weeks. I got a cat.
John Lieber is the absentee father of the Chatting Average.
He missed us so much in the 2 weeks that we weren't doing shows for the holidays that out of a necessary coping mechanism, he actually decided to adopt a live human being. Or not a human being, an animal in this case.
If John adopted a human being, we would
have much bigger
we would have
issues.
had an emergency podcast. I promise you, if I see John as the legal guardian and custodian of a human being younger than him.
Listen, in the wise words of one Noah Chen, if it's a boy, I'm not helping.
If it's a boy, I'm not helping.
That's it. That's his policy, man. That's his policy.
Let's talk about some baseball. Let's talk baseball. Before we get too deep into interpersonal conflicts, a lot has happened. A lot has happened in free agency. Chief among which is that arguably the largest domino.
Who is chief among which? Is that the Braves
Don't
guy
indulge
or the
him.
It's not.
guy?
The most important move that happened in the offseason so far, and the one that a lot of teams have been waiting for to fall so that the rest of the dominoes can fall in place.
Right, Anthony Kane of the White Sox, right.
Is Alex Bregman, third baseman, signing with the Chicago Cubs.
What a like hour for Chicago, half of Chicago fans.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
The Bears were losing, and then Alex Bregman signed with the Cubs, and then the Bears went, right. Like, crazy deal.
I had heard before the game that Bregman was going to wind up with the Cubs, and I was very curious to see if that happened, during the Bears game, if the White Sox waited until the game, or the Cubs waited until the game was over to make some noise or whatever. Well, they waited about like 3/4 of the way through the game when it looked like things were going very, very, very poorly for the Bears. I was like, okay, let's
tell some
morale real fast here.
And then it worked. So it was a pretty high deal, 5 years, $175 million, no opt-outs, a full no trade clause per MLB.com's Mark Feinsand. Also, the third largest contract in Cubs history, trailing only Jason Hayward in 2015 and Dansby Swanson in 2022.
That's quite
Yes,
a
John.
top three to have, I gotta say.
John?
What are you guys' thoughts on the amount? It's like 33.5 a year, right?
Something like that.
I mean, this is something that
will be 32 this year.
Yeah, this is something that we watched last offseason, was the same argument. Alex Bregman, at that point, was going into his age 31 season, and there were significant worries about if you signed him to a long-term contract, what the decline in value was going to be. And that, I believe, played some factor into the one-year deal he signed with Boston. And now you see the Cubs, a team that, by all accounts, was in on Bregman last offseason, swinging pretty big here. This is someone who immediately fits in their top three of the lineup right now. But we know that a 5-year contract isn't just counting that first year of production. You're assuming that Alex Bregman at 37 is either not too heavy on your books or is still providing you value. Right now, he's a Gold Glove third baseman with a willingness to move to second base and a plus bat when he's healthy. Do you trust that in 5 years Alex Bregman can either maintain a plus glove, a plus bat, or stay healthy? Because if you get at least one of those, I can see this being worthwhile.
Yeah, and I mean
I
that's
say
my thing.
something that's a little bit mean.
Yeah.
The two best seasons offensively of Alex Bregman's career were his basically second and third full season of his career, 2018 and 2019, the only two seasons in his entire career with an OPS plus over 150. Now, granted, 150 is very good, but it's the only two seasons where he's been above that mark. And the mean thing that I would say if I was a mean person is that the Astros were cheating both of those seasons, but I'm not a mean person, so I'm not going to say that. What I will say is that last year, you look at a bit of a career resurgence, right? You look at 128 OPS plus, and that's kind of been his ceiling in seasons where hypothetically the team that he was playing on was possibly cheating, and he was maybe potentially the one that was leading the charge in that. But if you're taking away those two outlier seasons, like you're expecting a 115 to 120 OPS plus guy, and that's just not worth $30 million a year. I'm sorry, but it's not.
And that's what I said. I was watching the Bears game with a bunch of Bears fans that also all happened to be Cubs fans. And like obviously it was like, let's go, this is awesome. And then the numbers came out and I was like, I don't know how happy I'd be. And also, I'm sorry. A no trade clause for a guy who's 32.
Yeah, that's kind of
like,
crazy too.
my
I can't
thing
lie.
is, like,
like
my thing
that's
is-
a first contract thing, not a second contract thing.
Yeah, and my thing is like, give him a no trade clause if he was on the team already.
That's true.
I never understand that. It's like, why are you giving a guy a no trade clause when they're just gonna waive it in 2 years when you suck? Like, I'm not saying this is what's gonna happen to the Cubs, but like, in just 2 years they're just gonna waive it. It means nothing. A no trade clause means nothing.
And as a player, why would you?
When a player wants to get traded, he's going to get traded.
As a player, why would you want a no trade clause on a team you've never been in a city you've never lived in before? Right. Like before you step foot on their baseball field for the first time. Why would you?
Now, I mean, of course, it's like it's his decision if he gets traded, basically, right? Like, no trade clause doesn't mean he can't be involved in any trades throughout the contract, but like he has to waive it. Which I guess is just setting up the whole, oh, the Cubs suck. I want to go to LA and win 2 more and win another World Series. I'm going to go do that now. And it's like, so.
What is Nolan Arenado up to these days?
Who knows? Is he? I imagine he's also
ready for spring training. I'm told.
If I had to guess,
Speaking
he is
of ring
also
chasing in Los Angeles.
Yeah, he's also running around St. Louis County right now, trying to corral the monkeys that have gotten on the loose.
Yeah, I'm quite worried
I did hear about that. I did hear.
I'm hoping that the construction on I-70 stops, like slows them down, so we've got a little bit more time before they get here.
That's true. They will have to wait in traffic. That's important to consider.
Yeah.
In all seriousness,
they have taken all the cars.
In all seriousness, Alex Bregman. This is one of the thoughts that I had when you mentioned this no trade clause. Let's say we fast forward, he plays out these 5 years completely in Chicago. And he, and not to say that I think this will or will not happen, but for example, if he got into the Hall of Fame, just if, right? I'm not saying he will or won't, but just if he did, does he go in with a Cubs cap? Does he go in with an Astros cap? Does he go in with nothing? A lot of this is hinging on the fact that I think he thinks he's going to make a legacy in Chicago.
I'd argue that
doesn't.
If he wins a World Series with the Cubs, he goes in with nothing on his hat.
Yeah, I think he would have to win at least 2 rings to go in with the Cubs hat. I think in the event that he gets to the Hall of Fame, which again is we can debate the merits of that, if we need to, but if he goes in, it's either as an Astro or as nothing. I at this point in his career, I would say.
Yeah, it is a tricky situation to speculate 5 years out.
And I
But
mean, the other thing is like, how are the voters gonna deal with the guys who were on the Astros, right? Like
Dude, I think
Altuve,
that's a very, very fascinating question.
Altuve is a no matter to me. I don't care. Altuve is a Hall of Famer, and I would assume first ballot, not unanimous because there's going to be people who are like fuck him, but like, sorry, John, you'll have to bleep.
I'm just yeah,
I just realized we were doing the podcast.
Well, I mean, we're
What do you
11
think we've been
minutes
sitting
in.
in front of this computer for the last,
Like
20
we're
minutes?
11 minutes in. I'm not sitting here like I'm just gonna slap the explicit tag on it and move on.
Sounds good. If your kids are watching, I'm sorry.
Let's
Stop.
just all right. Look, this is going to be a impactful signing for all 5 years of this contract, because no matter what, money is going to sit on the books on the north side for the next 5 years. This is not deferred. This isn't, trade clauses, opt outs, player options, anything. This is straight. And,
Free cash, homie.
with a team that has yet to re sign Kyle Tucker, for example, does this signal that they aren't interested?
Yeah,
Or
that's
that
what
they.
I was gonna like.
But they also just traded Owen Casey.
That's a
They're
very
one of their
good point,
outfield
too.
prospects.
Wait, to who?
To
To
Miami.
Miami, he was in the Edward Cabrera trade.
Oh, I did not know
Right.
that.
But as we just mentioned there, Edward Cabrera, they're adding on the other side of the ball. They are adding on this pitching staff
Which they
someone
needed.
who is young and projectable that they, quite frankly, just haven't had
Yeah, they kind of
for an
desperately
extended
needed that.
run. And they need because most of the prospects that we've seen come up for the Cubs recently have all been position players. So, does this mean they're not going to go for Kyle Tucker? Maybe. Does Matt Shaw become a trade piece? Because now he does not have a starting position on this Cubs infield. With Nico Horner, Dansby Swanson, and Alex Bregman, does he end up as this odd man out in this sort of, like, to compare it to a similar situation, does he end up the same way Jarren Duran ends up, where it's like he just kind of is always the bridesmaid, never the bride on the trade block? Who really knows? This is a very interesting move where it solidifies one spot for the Cubs, but then just completely has ripple effects in every other direction for both their offseason and I want to say at least 5 other teams' off seasons. Because
I
now
think
the
another
Red
thing.
Sox have to move, the Blue Jays have to move, the Phillies have to move. All these teams that were hinging on the top free agents, the top hitting free agents, now turn their attention from Bregman to Tucker to Bichette, all the way down the line.
Yeah, I mean, this was kind of the log that was, proverbially jamming the free agency pipeline. And I think even in the next week or two, we're going to start seeing a lot of those bigger pieces start to fall. Now that, Bregman's off the board, now that he's kind of set the market with his contract to a certain extent, like that was kind of the big piece that's still big shoe that needed to drop.
So I'm looking at their the Cubs salary table. For some reason, they don't have Bregman on it yet, so I don't know if it's not league official or what. But their payroll this year, including guys with options that haven't been figured out yet or not, is already $185.2 million.
And
Add the 33 and a half to that, that's over 210. It's almost 220. And so that tells me, yeah, have fun wherever you want to go play, Kyle Tucker.
Yeah. And seeing the most recent reporting from Jim Duquette of MLB Network Radio, that you see the Blue Jays, Dodgers, and Mets as the three that Tucker and his representation have met with in recent days. That list doesn't surprise me. I think had Bregman not signed with Chicago, you would just add the Cubs to that list, and it would still have been those 4. And I think those 4 are also still in the running for Bichette if you tack on like the Red Sox and, maybe a couple other dark horse teams in that mix. I think you could also see those. But this is really, as you said, Adam, that's the first, the first log has moved in the jam.
Do we want to talk about some of the other minor moves that have kind of come across the wire since the last time we've chatted?
Yeah, let's.
I'm sorry, I'm confused.
Yeah?
Bregman does have $70 million deferred, according to Spot Track.
Sounds about right.
From this deal. Did I just lie?
Supposedly. Which just doesn't make sense. I mean, the contract is not official. The contract is not made public by the league office.
Yeah. Per Feinstein, the Cubs are deferring $70 million of the contract, lowering the AAV for balance tax purposes. It potentially keeps the 2026 payroll under the first CBT line of $244 million. So okay, that makes.
Hey, we love tax breaks. We love tax breaks for our major league teams. We love them.
Yes. So,
it's still
just
$20 million a year. That's still their second highest AAV.
So publishers edit there that I said it was straight up. It is not straight up. But
I thought
it also does not. It does not change a single thing I said. That's still a lot of money.
I'd like to argue one thing. How did he not win the MVP in 2019? Mike Trout?
Well, Mike Trout wasn't cheating.
Yeah, that's true. Have you ever considered that the Astros were cheating?
Oh, I see.
Hey, speaking of the Astros, there's they have a new starting pitcher. I don't know if you guys have heard about this or not.
Oh yes.
Adam Abusak.
Tatsuya Imai from Japan.
Tatsuya Imai, yes.
Agreeing to terms with the Astros on New Year's Day. 3-year contract. How do we feel about this one, gentlemen?
I like it. I really do. They were not a team I thought was in at all. I was really surprised because this is kind of the top international arm by a wide margin. I would argue he's right there neck and neck with Munetaka Murakami for top international free agent, period. Just depending on what your team values. But looking at what the Astros are wagering here, you are not going to keep Framber Valdez. You're not.
Right.
This is a team that's going to need that frontline starter to couple with Hunter Brown, Christian Javier, Spencer Arrighetti. If Lance McCullers stops, collapsing into a fine mist, then maybe him.
They still got Ronel Blanco and Hayden Wesneski, too.
Both of them are undergoing Tommy John, so they will be possibly coming back as well. Luis Garcia was released after an elbow reconstruction. Who knows if he comes back when he's healthy.
Both of those guys should be back this year.
Where's Forrest Whitley when you need him?
In the trees?
Actually, that's a great question. Forrest Whitley
I apologize.
Is he signed with the Yomiuri Giants in NPB?
Right.
Right.
So
I assume he was in Triple A for that, like he was for about 6 seasons.
Yep.
Trivia question for the group. Everyone's favorite guy on the Astros, Lance McCullers Jr. In what round of the 2012 draft was he drafted? Adam?
I'll take the 8th. Give me the 8th round.
Okay. John?
Like second? Am I going the wrong direction?
Yeah, you guys would be really good at this.
If?
He was drafted in the first round. Pick 41 overall.
Oh, really long first round. Okay.
Yeah, that is very
Yeah.
long. For
Were there 41 teams in 2012? Adam, I wasn't conscious yet. Yes, I
Well,
was. I was 10 years old.
they fold competitive balance round A and B into the first round, and then competitive balance round C is in the
That's right.
second round.
Of course.
Oh.
Is that confusing to you? Does that make
Yes.
sense to you? It
No.
shouldn't. It shouldn't
Cool.
make
It
sense to you at
shouldn't.
all.
It really shouldn't.
Tatsuya Imai. I hate to pivot back to the main topic of conversation, but
Fine.
I mean, you don't want to dig in on Forrest Whitley, dude?
but Imai in his last season in 2025 with the Cebu Lions of the NPB, a 1.92 ERA, 178 strikeouts, and 168 and 2/3 innings. Pitched in a combined no-hitter. Not that that really changes the fact it was a really good season for him, but 8 seasons, 3.15 ERA, 9.07 strikeouts. Since 2023, a 9.5 strikeout per nine in NPB, and this is really, this is a high level guy. 4-seamer slider mostly, right about league average velocity, really good swing and miss on the slider, good change, and ends up mixing in a lot of that splitter as well. A lot of people have compared him to to Trey Savage in that sort of over the top splitter delivery. Works a little more east west than Savage does in what I've seen, but this is a guy that is going to, I believe, be similar to what you saw from Shota Imanaga in his first season. I think he can perform. I think you're going to see the ERA jump from under 2. But I think he's going to prove to be one of the better pitchers for the Astros, possibly one of the better pitchers in the AL. I don't know if I don't think that puts him in. I don't think he's going to run for the Cy Young this year. I really don't. I think that's Scooble's award to lose. But I am high on Tatsuya Imai.
I think you bring up a good point when you're talking about, that ERA and how that's going to jump, coming across to Major League Baseball. This is something we kind of mention whenever we're talking about Japanese prospects, but it's important to mention again. I think that right now, NPB, Japanese baseball, is kind of going through really what a lot of people are comparing to, a dead ball era in Major League Baseball, right? The pitching there has never been better. And so a lot of the pitching stats might be a little bit more inflated, right? You've got a 2.26 ERA like Ime had, that is just not going to be in the same realm more than likely in Major League Baseball. I would expect that, to jump closer to a 4. Now, this is something that you got to knock down a lot of pitchers coming over because of, but I think in the inverse, batters that do well in this era of NPB tend to be a little bit undervalued because people don't really understand how difficult it is to hit in that league right now. So somebody like a Murakami, for example, maybe is worth a little bit more than the contract that they're going to get, for example.
Can I ask a mechanics question?
Please.
How do you throw a splitter from the sidearm release? Because he's like a low sidearm guy, is he not? Sorry, I'm going very much into the weeds here.
Yeah, but the sort of motion of the pitch. Like Savage is coming at it from a top angle, but he throws a similar splitter.
I'm sorry. I'm seeing pictures of him throwing now, and I think MLB just described it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a side. He's not sidearm. His hands out here, which isn't sidearm. Like that's sidearm. So my bad. What I would think is really interesting, and I hope that Houston's pitching staff works with him on this. He uses the 3 main or his fastball, slider, changeup. But that slider or that changeup and that splitter are average at the same velo, and that could be really fun.
Well, another really fun pitch from Imai is that his slider actually moves arm side, which is
Now
just
explain the mechanics of that. Huh?
so weird.
Watch
But
it.
there,
Have you guys ever seen Cody Hoyer pitch?
I'm watching a video right now of him pitching to Munetaka Murakami of all people, and it ends up on the outside edge of the plate. And you can see Munetaka Murakami immediately thinking it's coming about to his belt. And it ends up on the other side of the plate. So I don't know how he's doing it. I remember Dari Moreta with the Pirates also throwing a weird slider like this. I don't know the biomechanics of it because I don't have those biomechanics. I'm 5'9". But this could be a really fun signing, especially because he also is known to kind of do that like the thing that I know like Chris Sale does a lot, where he like hits like 94, 96, and then randomly in his like he knows this is his last inning of work and just goes 98, 99 for a whole inning.
Yeah,
like he threw. Yeah, it just so all that is to say, this is a really exciting signing for a team that really just came like a bolt from the blue for this, that just randomly sort of snatched him off the table. $54 million, $3 million in incentives, 3-year contract, opt-outs after his first year. He can opt out as soon as next offseason. So
they're player opt-outs?
Yeah, player opt-outs after the 26 and 27 seasons. So, I don't know what Scott Boras did. He there's pictures of him at Texans games wearing a full Scott Boras Corporation outfit. Like, he's got a full sweatsuit and every logo on it is the Boras Corporation. I'm not kidding. He was at a Texans game in a full Boras sweatsuit.
Dude, I need the Boris Corp drip. You know I would wear that on an episode.
Oh, I would.
Scott,
I would wear that so
give me
much.
A call, Scott.
Scott, don't let them fool you. I've never said anything bad about your weird like poem diatribes at winter meetings. I've never said anything bad about it. Hit my line.
Other minor moves that I guess we should touch on before we get too deep into the show. Wilson Contreras, no longer a St. Louis Cardinal, now a Boston Red Sox.
The people
part
are pissed.
of the return for the Red Sox. Hunter Dobbins, I guess, is kind of the centerpiece of that trade or that trade return. Thoughts on this one, fellas?
This is interesting to me. Honestly, that's really the best way I can describe it. I think that he is a good first baseman. He had a good year for what I was expecting from Wilson Contreras in a season where, he moves off of catcher, had just kind of an awkward ending to his time in St. Louis. This is someone who they thought was going to be the next Yachty, and he just didn't turn that out. But he had a 2.5 WAR season.
He was the next Yachty for all of about 2.5 months.
3 minutes until the pitching staff that all threw to Yachty the year before went, he's not Yachty.
But
by the way, we've already talked about this trade.
Have we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because everything Todd was saying was ringing a bell to me. I was like, yeah, wait a minute.
I didn't remember when the last time we recorded an episode was. I could have sworn it was before this trade went through. Did we also talk about
podcast was the Christmas podcast.
Did we talk about both of the A's deals in that episode as well?
We talked about Jeff McNeil. I know we talked about Jeff McNeil.
We definitely talked about Jeff McNeil.
Since then, it's just kind of been a lot of ARB deals, really. I mean, are there any...
Eloy Jimenez signed a minor league deal with the Blue Jays.
I did see that. Go Jays. Did you see where Orlando Arcia signed a minor league contract?
No, where?
Milwaukee. He's going home.
Back? Oh, wow.
He's going back. And for those of you who are following along on Drew Romo's star-crossed saga this offseason. After leaving the Rockies and signing with Baltimore, he was DFA'd by Baltimore, signed by the New York Mets, then DFA'd by the New York Mets, and he is currently, as of 2 days ago, when his most recent signing was, a Chicago White Sox.
And
Can you imagine getting DFA'd multiple times in an off season?
Yeah, that's pretty rough. He's been on his fourth team this offseason. He played like 15 games in the majors last year.
I'm not kidding. I saw a tweet about this. I don't know why I saw a tweet about Drew Romo. But I saw a tweet and people were genuinely going, "Wait a minute. Wait, but I thought we had Corey Lee and Edgar Cuero. Why would we sign Drew Romo?" And it's like, I need you to know that Drew Romo is not competing for that spot.
Correct. You know what he's doing? He's giving you an extra bullpen catcher in AAA this year.
Why did the Sox sign him? They got like 9 catchers on the team.
John Kenzie Noel, now a Baltimore Oriole. I'm just scrolling the
And then he got,
transaction page. Did he get DFA'd by them too? No.
I think he got DFA'd because they claimed, of all people, Marco Luciano.
Oh man, Marco Luciano.
Yep. Left fielder Marco Luciano.
Boy, there's an idea that's never, ever going to work.
I mean, who could say? John got called by his mom, by the way.
So it goes.
Yeah,
he's back.
Welcome back.
So, man, John Kenzie Noel. Rest in peace, Big Christmas.
Michael Lorenzen, Colorado Rocky.
He's gone.
Left fielder? Center fielder?
Right?
I want to see him take batting practice. I'll be honest with you. I want to see him take batting practice. I think that'd be funny.
Why are there so many position players that are like, I'm going to go try pitching now, and they're like in like high A. But like Michael Lorenzen is probably a better hitter.
Yeah. It just shows you how much more valuable it is to be a pitcher. That's not a bad genuinely, that's the difference.
He's not a bad pitcher.
He threw a no-hitter, dude. He's a fine pitcher.
Sometimes he wears Chucks.
I normally have him on my fantasy team as a free agent pickup like midway through April, and I normally dump him by August.
Exactly.
Anyway.
So the Yankees are under the assumption that Bellinger's going to sign somewhere else.
And in memorial of that, I'm going to do the rest of the pod with my eyes about 30% open.
I think that's less than 30%.
Look, I'm trying my best. I've never been high before. I don't really know how this is supposed to work.
Well, I'll tell you, it doesn't force your eyes to go closed.
So why does he do that?
That's
I'm gonna go out there and put this on the record. I don't think Cody Bellinger is high during Major League Baseball games. I think that's probably not.
Every other point in his life, maybe. But
during the games.
So where do we think Cody Bellinger goes, and why is it Seattle?
I think it's really just one option.
It's
the Chicago White Sox.
Can you not talk like that, John?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Who took? Stop misplacing your confidence in the White Sox.
But they signed Munetaka.
And that's kind of gonna be it. I don't mean to.
I still can't believe they signed Murakami.
That's not the only thing they've done.
Yeah, they just added Drew Romo.
Yeah. Do you think Drew Romo gets a single start in Major League Baseball this season?
If he gets a single start on the White Sox, something has gone so terribly wrong.
Drew Romo will play Major League Baseball this year. It will not be for the Chicago White Sox.
Yes. I enjoy thinking like that. Anyway. I'd argue you're so right because Oh my God, he's listed as the top AAA catcher.
Well, maybe it will be for the White Sox.
This is bad. This is bad, y'all.
And we Rule 5'd our two others in AAA. What?
They are one player away. Like if one person gets
Next man
hurt.
up.
If one
No.
person gets hurt.
No, because we have Kyle Teal, Edgar Cuero, and Corey Lee on the Major League roster, theoretically.
Theoretically.
That's what I said.
Theoretically.
Correct.
Someone else has to
I'm just saying, I'm looking at this White Sox roster and I'm thinking, World
You're
Series.
thinking?
Why are we like the Boston White Sox? What is going on? We traded Chris Sale there, and then Yohan Moncada. That's right. No,
So
that's wrong. We traded Chris Sale there.
if you had to live in one Major League Baseball stadium,
In one stadium?
if
For
you
the
had
rest
to
of my
like,
life.
yes,
Rogers
Do I
Center.
get to
They got
leave and
hotel
like
rooms.
go within
No,
like a
no.
certain distance?
That's my answer. I'm sticking with it.
What'd you say?
Said Rogers Center. They got hotel rooms.
you know that's not what I meant.
We get to go like within a mile or something of the stadium.
I mean,
The Red
yeah,
Sox block off the whole block surrounding Fenway.
you just have to be able to sleep in the stadium. Like your
So my
home.
bedroom is just like in the stadium.
Yes.
Well, it's got to be one of them with a dome, probably.
Disagree. There's inside parts to every single stadium in the league.
That's what you think.
What do you think happens at Sutter Health Park, John?
The clubhouse is inside somewhere.
You know,
Maybe not.
In the loosest sense of the word, yes.
Inside. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Because big building, right? If it's inside, that AC is working overtime. It's going to break a lot. If it's outside, the AC works a little bit. But normally there's like fans on the concourse if you need them.
Fans in Sacramento, really? They're not. They're not there.
My favorite thing is like right before the MLB season starts. Let me find it. There's like 4 teams playing the Sacramento Rally Cats, right? Or something like that. Right? River Cats. And I just think it's really funny because like San Francisco is playing at the Sacramento River Cats Stadium, which is just Sutter Health Field where the Athletics currently play. Do you think they scheduled the wrong team? Like, yeah. Hey, location looks good. Yep. Stadium looks good. Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah.
Wait, what did you say it was? Oh no! Oh, I'm gonna lose my job. No.
Also,
my God.
like, I love minor league baseball and everything, but like, reading through this like last few weeks of spring training schedule, that's just like they play a minor league team every 3 minutes for some reason, is like, what is BOP and why is that Baltimore?
You can tell we've gotten to the absolute pits of the offseason because John Lieber is actively scouting the spring training schedule.
Dude, the San Diego Padres are playing the CCP.
Okay, now you have my attention.
Like,
that one I actually might have to fly out for.
Saturday, March 21st, spring breakout. San Diego Padres at CCP. They're playing the Communist Party.
There's no way.
Padres open
I'm
as
just
2.5 run favorites.
listen, I'm not trying to point anything out here, but the CCP does have the Cubs logo.
Oh, you know what it is? You know what it is, John?
Chinese.
Yeah, it's the
Communist
CCP.
Party.
No, the BOP one. It's the spring breakout. It's Baltimore Orioles prospects. It's that one game of spring training where they do the prospect matches.
Which makes this the Chicago Cubs prospects.
No,
And
this
not
is still this is still the
communist.
Chinese Communist Party.
Now,
The San Diego Padres are trying to up their social credits.
Aren't we all? Aren't we all?
So arguably the SDP
Okay, well,
is
you-
not the San
hold on.
Diego Padres. It's the San Diego Prospects.
I want you to
The San Diego
know.
Party.
I want you to know
Like,
that
that's who they're playing.
you want to know the first 5 games in March for the Cubs.
In
They
the
play
regular season or
in spring training. In March
Hang on,
1st through 5th.
I'm looking for myself.
No, you don't get this. No, don't spoil yourself.
I'm already
First
doing
game versus the White Sox. Second
that's
game
all it is.
at the Reds. Third game versus Italy. Fourth game at the Brewers. Fifth game versus
That's
the
a lot of
Diamondbacks.
travel.
When did
So-
the Red Sox play their annual game against Northeastern?
It's like
the
the
Red Sox
first thing they do.
get to play Puerto Rico.
So yeah,
It's always
Who's the
weird
Red
that
Sox
Puerto
played?
Rico has their own
Okay,
World Baseball
I'd like to
Classic
make an
team, and they should
argument.
be part of Team USA.
I'd like to make an argument. The day that we're
No,
talking
yeah.
about is March 3rd. It's an exhibition day where a bunch of MLB teams will play the WBC teams, correct?
yeah.
Correct.
Basically. Which is awesome. That'll be really fun. Miami gets to play Israel. However, all of these, Columbia versus Pittsburgh, or at Pittsburgh, Netherlands at Baltimore, Panama at New York, Canada at Toronto, that's the same thing. Israel at Miami, Nicaragua at the Mets, Brazil at the Athletics, Cuba at KC, Italy at Cubs, the USA plays San Francisco. I'm sorry to the Giants
Cuba?
fans who have
Yeah,
to
that's
watch
gonna
their
be
team
tough.
play the ultimate team.
Cuba
The
is
Great
at
Britons-
Kansas City.
Yeah, I don't think they're actually allowed to enter the United States.
So they went to
Great
No,
Kansas
Cuba's
City.
not in Kansas. Cuba's in Missouri.
Oh, true.
Ah.
Great Britain is at Milwaukee. Mexico is at Arizona. Puerto Rico is at Boston. Venezuela is at Houston. However, Detroit has to go to the Dominican Republic.
Dillon Dingler, you are going to the Dominican Republic.
I'm sorry, I
Boy, I
didn't
hope
want to
school
read
is a
out
valid
every
passport,
single
man.
game, but I felt the need to read out every single game to make sure everybody knew they are the only team leaving the country, apparently.
World Baseball Classic to hold 2-game series. 2 games between the Dominican Republic national team and the Detroit Tigers.
Is it in the Dominican Republic? Am I lying, or is it just like on the?
It's in the DR. It's in Santo Domingo.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
all right, hold on.
Cultural whiplash you would get
hold on,
from going
hold
from
on.
Detroit to
Hold on.
Santo Domingo.
No,
Well, I mean,
no.
it's-
No, they're
it's
not
like
in Detroit.
Florida or
They're in Lakeland, Florida.
Oh, that's arguably even worse.
That might be worse.
No, all right. So hold on. All right. In all seriousness, these games are being played as in honor of the nightclub tragedy in Santo Domingo in April. So there's a reason why they're there. They're donating proceeds to the Red Cross in the Dominican. You have to lead with that.
Yep. Probably should have.
Because I want you to understand, the people at the announcement for the press conference, Rob Manfred, sure, the Dominican Republic national team general manager and MLB special advisor for baseball operations, Nelson Cruz, 11-time All-Star, 3-time most valuable player, and Dominican Republic manager, Albert Pujols, in attendance. Nelson Cruz is the one who pitched this to Rob Manfred and the president of the Dominican Republic.
I mean, yeah.
You think he's just got his phone number?
Yes.
Got him on
Do I
speed
think
dial.
Nelson Cruz has the phone number of the president of the Dominican Republic? Come on.
Yeah, that's actually probably true. That's a good point.
So, but they only very briefly mention um the Tigers. Like,
Why did
why
they pick
why the
Detroit?
Tigers?
To be
Yeah.
fair, we
So,
also very briefly mention the Tigers on this podcast most times.
like, in Rob Manfred's press release, the Tigers are part of one sentence. Um, the president, the POBO for the Detroit Tigers, the president of baseball operations, Scott Harris, didn't really say why. He says like it's a unique and meaningful opportunity to honor the victims and to help compete against the Dominican Republic, and a sense of joy and happiness. We want to raise funds, but the last time prior to 2024, when the Red Sox and Rays played there for a spring training game, the last time that MLB was in the Dominican Republic was in 2000, when Boston played Houston, which was preceded by the Mets against the Montreal Expos. There is a about 5-game gap in frequency played between the Detroit Tigers and Dillon Dingler and the Montreal
That's just a
Expos.
funny name.
Which I find it really funny that the Dominican plays Major League team, possibly wins, and then immediately the first thing they play is they go to Miami and play Nicaragua.
Can I make an argument here? I think it's absolutely insane these teams are going to come to wherever these MLB teams play their spring training, Arizona or Florida. And like some of them then have to like turn around, fly, and it's not like they're flying to Germany, but like turn around and fly to Puerto Rico and like play baseball 2 days later for the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah. Like, imagine being on the Australian national team.
Well, they're not playing a team for some reason. They're not part of the
Well, yeah, that is pretty far.
crossover.
Like, Australia and China and
Taipei.
Chinese Taipei aren't doing that.
They're all in
I
Tokyo,
guess.
so they're not coming over.
Yeah, and I South Korea and Japan did not either.
No,
So
I
no one in East Asia or Oceania made the trip over, which
Heartbreaking.
is sad, but also, I mean, if all of their pool play is going to be in Tokyo or Taipei, why would they fly to America and then jet lag their players by going all the way back across the Pacific? So, 100 players born in the Dominican Republic were on opening day rosters in 2025. Is this the year that they win? I know we're like months out from this.
Yeah, we need
No.
to do like an actual long episode about this at some point.
We don't
but
have
their
roster
pitching's
yet.
just not there. Their pitching's just not there.
Hey, don't worry.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Jameson
for-
Tyone is pitching for Canada.
For some reason or
Big
another, the Dominican
that's
Republic
James Paxton.
can breed baseball players that will make it to the United States to play in Major League Baseball. However, there's like 2 of them that are pitchers. Like
It's just not what that country produces, and that's fine.
exactly,
But
right.
it's hard
So
to-
like
it's
that's
hard
their
to
issue.
Put together a very complete team with that. That's why
As
Japan
a-
always has an advantage because they're a full roster built every year.
This is just MLB player. These MLB. I don't want the MLB players lined up for the WBC. I just want the WBC rosters. Is that a thing? Can I get? that?
I don't know.
They
that they've
haven't
been fully
announced them yet.
I will say that Team USA this year, at least from the outset, it looks like the players are a lot more committed to playing in the WBC this year, which is really good. We've seen time and time again across all sports when you have best on best competition playing for your country, that should be a spectacle. Right, and that's the reason that the Four Nations face-off worked so well last year in NHL is because all the players bought in. They're playing for their country. They care. They want to win. If every American-born player that's growing up right now sees the WBC as a big thing, by the time their generation steps into being Major League Baseball players, they are going to play for Team USA hands down, no question, right? But right now,
Right.
that's not necessarily where we're at, right? There was a time 10, 15 years ago where Paul Skeens never would have put on a Team USA uniform. I think he's going to do it. I think he's going to play for Team USA, and I think that's going to change some things. I think this is
He already confirmed.
He's already confirmed. He's pitching for them.
So
depending on
the
how things
projected
go in spring training.
the projected starting lineup right now for players who are openly committed for around the horn for Team USA: Corbin Carroll, Byron Buxton, Aaron Judge, left to right across the outfield. Infield: Gunnar Henderson at third, Bobby Witt at short, Bryce Terang at second, Bryce Harper at first, Kyle Schwarber at DH, Cal Raleigh behind the dish, your rotation of Tarek Skubal, Paul Skeens, Logan Webb, and Joe Ryan, and a bullpen including Noel McLean, Matthew Boyd, Mason Miller, Griffin Jacks, Garrett Whitlock, Garrett Clevenger, David Bednar, and Clay Holmes. Why are both of you raising your hand?
You got to pick one of us first.
Yeah, John, you raised your hand first.
Mr. Teacher, I have two questions, or two things to point out.
Yeah.
The first one is, who is outfielder number 4? Because Byron Buxton will find a way to not play.
Pete
My
Crow
second
Armstrong.
question.
Pete Crow Armstrong should be starting over. What? Okay, sorry.
I agree. Pete Crow Armstrong is.
I was just looking
baseball.
at the depth chart on 11.7.
I agree.
Which has the most up-to-date one.
Anyways,
Yes.
Shout out.
my second question or thing to point out is that they're still going to find a way to lose to Japan.
Yep.
Because let's talk. The last one, it was great, but you put your GOAT against the other GOAT.
And the other GOAT won.
Then that GOAT came into the regular season and didn't pitch very well.
Yeah.
And then he went, ugh, and the whole arm just blew up. But, it's going to be fun.
I think the goal...
The World Baseball
for
Classic, the
WBC
championship game, is it a game or is it a series? How does that work?
Isn't the championship a 3-game set?
It's a 3, once you get into, the true...
Yeah.
Baseball part of it is it's 3-game sets, if I remember right. It'll probably go 3 games, and it'll probably be the USA versus Japan again. And Lars Nootbaar will come up with a good hit.
Totally possible.
Lars Nootbaar is still playing baseball?
Allegedly. The point that I was going to make is that I think this country really, really needs to get better at producing middle infielders because I do not feel good about Bryce Terang starting at second base. Surely we've got another shortstop laying around that can learn to move a little bit to the left. You know what I mean?
Well,
there's got to be better second basemen.
I'm glad you guys are coming to the same conclusion.
But I'm also coming to the idea that
beggars can't be choosers.
But also the best player on my team every year was a shortstop.
Yeah.
Where'd all those white boys go?
Well, can I talk about Canada for a second?
No.
By all means.
Tyler O'Neill, Denzel Clark, Owen Casey, Abraham Toro, Otto Lopez, Edward Julian, Josh Naylor, Tyler Black, Liam Hicks, with Jamison Tyone, Michael Soroka, Logan Allen, and Cal Quantrill. Is this the all waiver claim team?
I just found out Abraham Toro is from Canada.
Yeah.
If you put this baseball team together and told them play 162 games on a major league season,
they'd all be DFA'd by the end of it.
They'd probably spit out 45 wins.
I just say
I'm very sad that would be a better season than the Sox.
I really badly need Great Britain to be good.
I really badly
Do we
need
know what
Great
jerseys
Britain to wear
look
the
like yet?
same uniforms as last
So
time.
you two might know this about me, but I have been watching a Great Britain WBC jersey since they've played, since 2021.
Correct. That's like a
And
holy grail.
this is something that I will
They
buy.
made them for people.
I'm going to buy. I will get one on. I'm not going to call out any fake resellers because I don't want you to find out. But just you know, I might get one there. Oh, don't know. He blew up the spot. No.
If he didn't say it, I was going to.
But I've genuinely, like, David Campbell could attest to this. I have scrolled that in the KCRU studio multiple times, being like, "Do I get
I
one?
believe
Do I
it.
get-" Like the one day I will have a Trace Thompson Great Britain jersey or a Vance Worley
Have they
jersey.
announced that roster yet?
So the only players that have been publicly announced: Trace Thompson, B.J. Murray at first base, Gabriel Rincones Jr. at DH, Harry Ford again, Jazz Chisholm, Sebastian Walcott, Nick Ward at third base, Donovan Benoit at in the bullpen, and Aroldis Chapman.
Right, because that makes sense.
Yeah, the Cuban Missile.
Aroldis Chapman
No Harry
had.
Ford?
Yeah, I did say Harry Ford.
Oh, okay. Thank God.
Aroldis Chapman.
Him and Jazz Chisholm are going to have the very strangest World Baseball Classic of anyone, I think.
The funny part is that Aroldis Chapman has like Jamaican grandparents, and that makes him eligible. Which
and Jazz is from the Bahamas.
Yeah.
True.
I really badly need to. I just had brunch with my grandmother. I told you all this who's from Birmingham, England.
Yes.
I need to know if she kept her citizenship.
Does she talk
because
like that?
if yes, I need to, well, not like that. She doesn't talk like she's in Peaky Blinders, dude. Well,
Birmingham, yeah, from Birmingham.
No,
Birmingham.
but I need to know if she kept her citizenship because am I eligible?
Team Great Britain might need you, man.
Am I eligible for the World Baseball Classic?
I think I'm like one generation too far removed to play for Team Italy. Which is heartbreaking.
Well,
I
they
think
could
I'm like,
use you.
Same.
What's
Team
Daniel
Italy-
Scouts up to these days?
Team Italy hasn't announced anyone.
Yeah,
like,
that's because
Imagine
they're
that.
like calling their local plumber to see if they ever played baseball.
well because
What they're doing right now is trying to build a fucking hockey stadium.
Oh my god! All right. Wait, let's keep it baseball before we get too.
We want to hit the grid.
Let's hit the grid.
Before we hit the grid, I have a trade that I'd like to announce to you guys that I've been sitting on for the past, let's see, 23 minutes.
Okay.
23 minutes.
Is it
Tampa
going to be
Bay
public
Rays.
before? Is it going to be
The
public?
Tampa Bay
before this is
Rays
out?
and the Atlanta Braves have a deal.
Whoa!
Junior Camarero, you are an Atlanta Brave.
The Tampa Bay Rays have acquired infielder Brett Wisely and left-handed pitcher Ken Waldachuk in exchange for a player to be named later or cash considerations.
Fuck you!
The Immaculate Grid is a 3x3 with 3 intersections. 9 of them, actually. 9 intersections. The rows are the San Francisco Giants, the Detroit Tigers, and 300 average plus season batting. The columns are the Phillies, played catcher 1 game, and MVP.
Fuck Ken Waldachuk. Are we? I'm still mad.
Oh,
Still
man.
mad. I'm sorry.
I haven't pulled one of those off that well in a while, man. That felt great.
Is that a real
All
trade?
right.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God. All right. Fine.
The White Sox do nothing in the offseason. These were not player to be named latering 2 players.
That is true.
Catcher for the Detroit Tigers. I'm not going to say
Okay.
Dillon Dingler,
You
Jonathan
should.
despite how much I want to. I'm going to do Tomas Nido.
.4.
Giants? Buster Posey. No. How about
Yes, good answer. I have an answer.
yeah?
Jonathan Lucroy for 300-plus batting season as a catcher.
Okay.
He did it twice. He did it 3 times.
Wow.
Wait,
How
what's
about-
the minimum games? No? Okay.
I have an MVP that hit over 300 in the season. Noted Hall of Famer Larry Walker.
Guys, I'm actually really mad that Jonathan Lucroy was 0.4.
All right, giant catcher.
I know a really big catcher. What's his name? He's got a brother that was in the league too.
Cal Raleigh's
All
a
right,
pretty
man.
big catcher.
I was thinking of I'm torn between the Yerminator, Yermin Mercedes, or Chadwick Trump.
Mm.
Darn, Grayson Griner never played for the Detroit, San Francisco Giants.
Did you put my answer in or what?
No, which one? I'm going with your mean.
Just put Yermin in there, man.
Okay, 0.1.
All right, Phillies Giants. Phillies Giants.
I have a Philly 300 batter.
Phillies Giants. Johan Camargo.
Yes. Huge.
Yes.
All right, 300-plus season.
Howie Kendrick.
That's really good. 0.05.
Giants.
The Detroit, Philly, and then the 2 teams MVPs.
Giants MVP. It's gonna be like what? Bonds, Posey, Mays, McCovey. McCovey might honestly be the least notable out of those 4.
Jeff Kent.
Jeff Kent. Yeah, Jeff Kent.
Yeah.
I didn't think about Jeff Kent.
10%.
You look at the Tigers for same thing for MVP, and it's like Miggy, Justin Verlander, and then past that, it's like Ty Cobb.
Ty Cobb? Yeah, Ty
Hank
Cobb.
Greenberg, maybe.
Mickey Cochran.
We could try Mickey Cochrane.
Yeah, who? Mickey Cochrane. A catcher who died in 1962 and was cremated.
That's the one.
Good
That's
for
the
him.
most notable
What a
thing
great
about
answer. 2%. We need a Philly Tiger.
Philly Tiger. We need a Philly Tiger. Me if I sent Tiger Woods to the food stand. How about Nick Maton?
I'm not taking another answer from you.
Come on!
Nick Maton is not going in.
What do you mean? Buddy Kennedy.
Hold on, I'll get one.
You're not allowed to speak anymore.
How about Matt Vierling?
That's a great answer.
H is not happy.
Matt Vierling, 5%. Great answer, Adam. Great answer.
Thank you.
Hardest spot on the grid today. Detroit, Philly.
Hey,
There's
well, it's a good thing we had a good
174.
answer for that one.
John said Nick Castellanos. That would have been the number 1 answer.
That would have been the number 1 answer.
Thank you for tuning into the Chatting Average. If you want to follow us on the Twitter. It's the Chatting AVG. If you want to follow Adam, it's KingBus5. If you want to follow John, it's JD_Sansoni. If you want to follow me, it's John Lever Media. If you want to
follow
comment,
the
share,
Chicago Cubs
subscribe.
pitcher John Lieber, it's a different John Lieber.
Yeah. And it's good that those Cubs got the third baseman because their third baseman from last year has other priorities. if you want to listen to the podcast elsewhere, we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, YouTube, MySpace. I think we still have an AOL account.
Yeah, we do.
John still runs the Hotmail account. I don't know why.
They haven't taken it
Yeah.
from me yet.
Yeah. If you'd like to donate
for
money
listening.
to us to pay for our flights to go watch the Detroit Tigers play in the Dominican Republic.
Please, 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 please.
Also, if you know somebody that can get Adam a passport before then.
Yeah, that'd be great. I need to get that expedited.
Do you not? All right, well, that's it for
Federal-
This has been the chat.
I hear the federal government's quite backed up.
All right, bye, everyone.